All right, so we're gonna wrap up this league. So let's talk about what we played. We played Scred. We played Steamkin, the Runaway Red, Mardu Pyromancer, Bogles, and Burn. That's a pretty solid lineup. Like we had some very decent matchups. The only non-prevalent deck there is Scred, and Scred beat us because Scred is just like it is the I am expecting creature decks. I'm going to kill creature decks. Like, um, there's not a ton we can do against Scred, and we also don't have Master Waves in the deck, so like, it's an awkward matchup. But anyway, 3 and 2. I actually really like this deck. It's a ton of fun. I think the green feels really smooth. We never had a chance, or we never had an issue with mana. Like we were always able to cast our spells. Having 4 Silvergill Adept, 4 Merfolk Branchwalker always gives you a really great like turn one play, and having Spreading Seas alongside that, like Land Mutavault is not that big a deal. And let's see, thoughts on other cards. Comina Speaker is actually surprisingly good. Like it's cool to have. Sometimes Merfolk Trickster is just a 2/2 with flash, and it's nice just to have a 2/2 for one less mana. Um, it really it was really impressive actually. Phantasmal Image was fine. Merfolk Mistbinder usually just came out. It was the one that you shave when you go into sideboard. I was thinking like, what do I want? Do I want to take out like a Trickster or Phantasmal Image? Like Phantasmal Image and Trickster are the first to come out, and I think that's fine actually. It doesn't necessarily mean they're bad. They're just the worst cards that are in this deck right now. I mean, Curse Catcher's another one, but a lot of the decks that we played, Curse Catcher's ability is relevant. Like Scred, it's relevant. Steamkin, the Runaway Red, it's relevant. Mardu Pyromancer is relevant. It's relevant. And then like Bogles and Burn, like Burn, it's relevant, and Bogles, it's not. So just going back, also just to prove a point, like talking about Mistcaller. Mistcaller would not be relevant in any of those matchups. Like that's the thing. I feel like Mistcaller is so narrow. I'm surprised people are high on it. Like at least Curse Catcher, like it may do small things, but at least it's useful in more places than just that. Like I just don't want to be playing a 1/1 Fugitive Wizard if I can help it. So like Curse Catcher at least is like a Judge's Familiar that gets bigger. So anyway, what else can I say? The deck felt really good. Kira felt really good. Like again, I really love Kira. Kira was a little slow in the burn matchup, but it did work in Mardu. It did work in Scred when it came out. I mean, maybe it would do work in Red. I think we just got Anger of the Gods out really badly. Let's see, what else? Would I change anything? So the biggest question on my mind was would I rather have Mara Regeries than Merfolk Mistbinders? And I think in this build the answer is like not really. I really liked Merfolk Mistbinder. I guess maybe if I play instead of Phantasmal Image, put in like a Mara Regery and then play them alongside each other, and also like every time I draw a Mistbinder, like think do I actually want? Would I rather this be a Mara Regery? But Mara Regery makes for some clunky draws, and when you have 6 1-drops like this, it feels real nice to be able to cast a 2-mana spell alongside another 1-mana spell or a 2-mana spell and keep up Spell Pierce, and Mistbinder facilitates that, although it's usually not the first thing that plays out of your hand. Is there anything I would change? Not off, like, so not offhand. This build, I think that, like, I'm really happy with how that played, and I'd like to test it a little bit more. The thing that I think I would change, or a build that I would like to try is maybe like taking out the mistbinders, taking out the like maybe taking out the curse catchers or the speakers, and just like jamming master waves. Like have a almost like a mono blue build, but like have another island in the deck, and just run it like that. See if this deck can facilitate Master of Waves, something like this. I don't know. Curse Catcher is fine, but also Commander Speaker is just fine too. Master of Waves is just a very powerful card, and I think that just because you're splashing the green doesn't mean that blue devotion, I mean, you can see, look at all the blue devotion potential here. Oh shit, what did I just do? How do I undo? I moved it all to the sideboard. Anyway, there's so much blue devotion potential that I think Master Waves is still great, and he's just a very powerful card, and I think he's very powerful alongside Kira, and I think this is definitely a build that I would try, because I feel like, you know, with all the middling 1-drops in Curse Catcher and Mistcaller, why don't we say fuck all of those and bring in a Commander Speaker, bring in a Merfolk Branchwalker, but just keep almost everything else the same in mono blue. Don't take out Master of Waves. Just keep him in as well. Like, yeah, maybe you won't get some extra devotion, but he's still a card that wins games, and you get to play 8 pseudo Silvergill. So, I mean, you may even not even need the Commander Speaker, but I was surprisingly impressed with him when I played him. Anyway, the deck's fine. The deck's capable of just outright winning. I think that 3-2 is indicative of what would have happened were we playing mono blue or any other build of Merfolk, because like that Scred, I mean, watch that game 1 of Scred. Like, mono blue can't deal with 5 lightning bolts and then an Anger of the Gods to finish it all off. And Bogles is naturally just a terrible matchup for any version of Merfolk. So I think that I'd like to test this a little bit more, because I'm impressed with how smoothly it played out. I think that's the biggest thing, is it felt smooth, and that comes in the form of having like 12 2-mana cantrips essentially, and then a few more 1-drops to smooth out the curve. Anyway, I really like the deck. I'll probably be playing it a little bit more. Again, I have Bolt Folk as well that I am continuing to test out, and I don't know. We've got a couple of lists that here's the important takeaway. You can bastardize the hell out of Merfolk and still keep it a powerful deck, because it's intrinsically powerful. You can do stupid stuff like I've been doing and splashing colors for no reason, and it still does work. So anyway, thank you for watching. I may play more leagues in the future with some of these, and until then.